Yo, so guys, welcome back to another reaction. This is a reaction to what's really inside Fort Knox. And I mean, I've got to do this video as quick as possible because I've got stuff that I've got to do really soon. So we're just going to get into this. Hopefully you're going to enjoy. I've made a new channel. Links there for those who care for that. But we're going to jump into this right now.
According to the
I thought Fort Knox was a prison. Wait, am I getting confused with something else? What's inside? I know I want to start this video, but I'm confused now. Isn't Fort Knox a prison?
Half of the United States Treasury's gold is stored at Fort Knox.
Oh, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. It isn't. Forget what I said.
Considering that as the largest and most famous piggy bank in the United States, we know surprisingly little about what happens on the inside. Today, we're looking at the mysteries of Fort Knox. Located outside of Louisville, Kentucky, the U.S. Army base houses the majority of our nation's gold reserve and is so exclusive that even U.S. presidents aren't invited. The top-secret nature of the base has predictably led to an array of theories surrounding what's really hidden within its heavily guarded walls. So what do we know about this extremely protected stash of American fortune? Let's look at the fort's history and many mysterious facts. But before we do that, be sure you subscribe to the Weird History channel and leave a comment. Tell us how much you like our videos. Great. Let's blast
I've seen a few videos from the channel, I think, and I did really enjoy them, to be fair. So hopefully this
Originally named Camp Henry Knox after the first Secretary of War, the fort was constructed during the Civil War. It was largely used as a military outpost and artillery training facility right until World War I. It was only in 1932, right after the First War ended and the troop count greatly reduced, did the camp's name get permanently changed to Fort Knox. The construction of the U.S. Bullion Depository later began in 1935, and by 1937, the vault began receiving its first shipments of gold, care of the post office. But don't go picturing an army of exasperated mail carriers. The future USPS used a special 9-car train manned by machine guns and protected by a U.S. cavalry brigade. Not your Nana's birthday card. Well, maybe, depending on your Nana.
Fort Knox wasn't just for protecting.
World War II brought whole new worries for the United States, including the possibility that our nation's capital might be attacked by outside forces. As a result, the Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, and Constitution were all moved to Fort Knox 2 weeks after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Sealed in lead, they were kept in a protective container far away from any Axis bombings or a treasure-hunting Nicolas Cage. All of those items remained hidden until 1945, when America and its allies declared victory. With that, the threat was deemed squashed, and the documents moved back to Washington, D.C.
So they trusted that much, they'll move probably the most important thing to the country's sort of history. There. Fair enough, okay, so that really does go to show how crazily protected. I knew this place was really well protected. I don't know why I got it confused with a prison. I feel like fort is just a name that you associate with prisons. But yeah, it is crazy that they did move that stuff there during the World War.
That's not the only time we've used the fort as a national lockbox. Only 1 year later, the Holy Crown of St. Stephen was given over to the U.S. by a Hungarian army colonel. Along with other jewels, the crown was kept for safekeeping at Fort Knox for the duration of the war. It was only later returned in 1978 by President Jimmy Carter.
Oh, wow.
Along with being used to protect our most important documents, Fort Knox was part of the U.S. effort campaign against the Nazis as an example of American strength. In his May 1941 article, How America Can Take the Offensive, Fortune writer Taylor Edmond proposed that we should use the gold to encourage Ford leaders to support the U.S. war effort. This example of might was later used during the Cold War as well, when the CIA used Operation Mockingbird to control information about their organization, as well as serve as the government-mandated hype man to Fort Knox. Not that we're exactly shocked, but it turns out that Fort Knox is a bit more than rent-a-cops and metal detectors in terms of security. Along with an electric fence, the 100,000-acre facility is surrounded by an actual minefield, keeping unwanted visitors.
What? It's a minefield? Okay, wow.
And just to be extra safe, the whole perimeter is guarded by 4 machine gun towers manned by the U.S. Mint Police.
Madness.
The facility itself is no picnic either. It features video cameras, motion detectors, and secret microphones designed to single out any unusual presence. If a mouse sneaks...
Have they ever been used? Like, has the machine guns actually ever had to been used to ever had to been used? Wait, that sentence doesn't make sense. Has it ever been used? Has it ever been used for people trying to infiltrate or trying to sneak in?
They know it. don't even think about breaking in, Stuart Little. And if you manage to get past all of that, you still have to grapple with a 22-ton, 21-inch thick vault door designed to withstand
this is a really iconic
blowtorches,
vault.
and explosive devices. You have
Wow.
absolutely no chance of sneaking inside. And let's be honest, you'll never have to worry about the 16,000 cubic feet of granite that encases the Fort Knox gold vault. You probably already took your licks at the machine gun minefield combo outside.
Few politicians have been
Being
inside.
a politician has enough job-related perks, so it's probably a relief to know that Fort Knox is almost completely off limits from our elected officials. When Kentucky Congressman Brett
Is the president allowed in Area 51? Because if so, this literally makes this more secretive than Area 51, no?
Guthrie and U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin visited in August 2017, they noted that it was the first time visitors were invited to the facility since members of Congress inspected the gold in 1974. The place is so exclusive that even the U.S. Mint Police are handpicked and then trained extensively in weapons handling, movements, danger areas, cover management, contact and cover, 360-degree security, cornering, door entry, room clearing, and breaching. Even the leader of the free world doesn't get a peek, and the only president to ever step inside the vault was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and only because he was president when the vault was first built.
Wow.
The last audit of Fort Knox's gold was conducted in 1953 under the Eisenhower administration. No outside experts were allowed inside, and the audit only managed to test 5% of the gold for purity. There has been no subsequent audit of the vault, despite then-presidential candidate Ron Paul challenging this in 2008. His audit failure led to much speculation and conspiracy theories. Despite public scrutiny, the U.S. Mint remains mum on proof of the 147.3 million ounces of gold claimed to be inside the vault. And so all evidence of this vast amount of treasure almost completely rests on a small group of people assuring us that it exists. Technically speaking, the vault could be filled with old newspapers and Wendy's wrappers, and we'd never know.
It's just nothing. Or it could be completely different. That's the thing, though.
The strange lack of evidence surrounding
Could be no gold. I mean, it probably is. That is still there, but like, it could be no gold. It could be something completely different. You see how all these rumors are around, or conspiracy theories are around Area 51. Is it the same sort of thing towards this? I assume it is, right? People don't truly know what it's about.
Fort Knox has attracted conspiracy theorists like bad photographers around Bigfoot. The most straightforward of them is from the Gold Antitrust Action Committee, which believes that the gold either never existed or has been slowly sold off and replaced with painted tungsten bricks. Other more creative theorists believe that the vault is secretly home to Jimmy Hoffa's body, biological weapons, or has been used to store drugs like morphine and opium. And of course, simply Googling the phrase Fort Knox secret aliens will open your world to a whole community of conspirators.
Tupac might be hiding here, man.
Of an alien encounter right over the base. Called
So
the
it is
Mantle
similar
Case, the alleged story begins in January 1948 when several soldiers spotted a bright white flying object from the control tower of the fort. 25-year-old Captain Thomas F. Mantle was sent to follow the craft in his F-51 Mustang fighter, only to crash in the pursuit. Before his death, the pilot allegedly described an object looking metallic and of tremendous size. We can't stop you from whatever you choose to believe about aliens, but as for all the theories on the actual gold in Fort Knox, well, that might be a bit moot. While it's fun to theorize and wonder over the value of Fort Knox, it should be noted that the U.S. actually went off the gold standard all the way back in 1971. This means that the U.S. dollar has no relation to the value of gold, making whatever is inside of Fort Knox a commodity for the Treasury Department and unrelated to our larger economy. In other words, the gold in Fort Knox is more valuable for trading with other countries, or as former Federal Reserve Chairperson Alan Greenspan put it exists just in case we need it. Or if the government was feeling extra generous, they could simply melt it all down and give everyone in America their very own Lord of the Rings memorabilia. That's assuming the aliens didn't take all the gold already. So what do you think? What is in Fort Knox?
Fort Knox. I just want to search quickly. Fort Knox versus... This is a video that I was going to post today, but it got blocked. I posted it onto my Patreon a few days ago. Well, actually a few weeks ago. I couldn't post it to YouTube, which is a shame. But if you're interested in that, links are in the description to my Patreon. I just saw it was left there. Fort Knox versus... Yeah, it's more guarded than the White House. There must be all kinds of crazy theories about it, and there is. I definitely have heard about it. I just didn't realise, like... I just want to also search prisons with fort in. Oh, my girlfriend's back. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this one. I was going to do that, but I can't. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one. More reactions like this in the future. More of these conspiracy type ones. But yeah, until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.